Do you keep wondering why your voice keeps getting cracked every now and then and you think it's village people? No, it's not village people. In the next few minutes, I'll be showing you what you need to do to keep your voice in shape. My name is Olumide Olofinji and my stage name is Drey. I'm an artist, a songwriter, an instrumentalist, and a music tutor. Don't leave this channel until I'm done with you. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic that most people kind of have issues with, and I'll try to address it as fast as possible. I don't want to bore you with so much talk. You would notice that sometimes as a singer or as an artist, as an evangelist, whether in the gospel version or in the secular version, there are times when you run out of your voice, literally. Let's say you've gone for gigs for a while and you still have a show in the evening, or you have a show the next day and you still have to sing. So today we'll be talking about how to keep your voice in good shape even after you've used it for a while or you've not used it for a while. Now the first thing is this: I do liken a human voice or a singing voice to a football skill. If you're a footballer and you've not rehearsed for a long time, you've not trained for a long time, you have not gone to the gym, you have not done anything relating to football or to exercise, it is very typical that when next you step on the field, you'd have issues. You'd have fitness issues, you'd have skill issues. Things you used to do then, you could dribble like an Ardent, and you just try to take that leg over and you fall. So today, I'm trying to tell you that it is very similar to the music world. If you don't rehearse well, if you're not consistent, if you don't manage your voice well, it is possible that you run out of a good voice. So this is how to make sure that this does not happen to you all the time. The first thing is this: make sure that you get enough rest. Rest is so undermined because we are in a generation where we want to eat so many things, and for an achiever, there are times when your dreams wake you up in the night and perhaps you have rehearsals. It could be that, it could be that you're worried about something. Or if you're an artist, if you're a singer, if you're someone that uses his or her voice well, whether as a backup singer or as a lead vocalist, you should ensure to get enough rest. This is why. Every time you wake up in the morning, you'd notice that your vocal cords, your throat is tired. That's why you sound so deep. No matter how tiny your voice is in real life, when you wake up in the morning, you're like, good morning. Because at that moment, even if you want to shout, you can't, because your vocal cords are just waking up. Do you understand? So imagine not getting enough rest. That makes your vocal cords tired. Should, in case you're the kind of person that does not have a choice, like let's say you have the avenue to sing days in a row, let's say Monday, Tuesday, you rest on Wednesday and Thursday, you don't have enough time, you have to rehearse and stuff like that, I recommend that you use warm water. I want to give you 3 items now. Warm water, ginger tea. I didn't say ginger itself, ginger tea. Go to any store, any known store around you, you should get that. Then natural honey. So make it a mixture of these 3 things, then take it early in the morning or some hours before you have your gig or you have your ministration. I'm not saying you should rush it. Don't use a water that's too hot because it might damage your vocal cords. That's why I said warm water. Make it lukewarm, not too cold, not the normal, and not too hot. Something that can still go in your throat. Do you understand? That's the first thing. So the other thing I'm going to mention that really affects a voice, that will not make it last for as long as it should, is if you take too much milk. Try to stay off milk. Try to stay off dairy products. Dairy products are products that are made out of milk. Any animal that produces milk is a dairy animal. Goat, cow, so stuff like that. Cheese, yogurt, ice cream, milk. Some of us are fans of it. I'm not saying you should not take it. So please try to understand. I'm only saying if you know you have an avenue to sing, an hours to come, or perhaps the next day, or perhaps the next 2 days, depends on your nature. Try to stay off it for that period of time. Discipline yourself and not take it, so your voice can be in the best position to do what it's supposed to do. Do you understand me? The other thing that you also have to note while you're doing this is that these vocal cords are made in a way that if you treat them good, they would give you a good feedback. If you treat them bad, they will give you a bad feedback. This is because the vocal cords are so soft, they are delicate. That is why I do recommend to people, whenever you want to clear your throat, don't be too harsh, because you want the junk to come out. So what you should do most of the time is you should either take water. You could also use warm water there, or in case you want to take that ginger tea and warm water and honey at that point in time, don't drink it directly. Just take it to your throat, then gargle. I wish I had water. I could have shown you the instance. Something like you just bring it in and you're like go, 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 for a few seconds. Do you understand? You can pour, if it's just ordinary water you're using, you can pour out the water at that time, then try it again for like a few seconds. Warm water will work faster. Do you understand? Because of the reaction it will have on your throat. You could use it that way, or there's another way you can implement, and that is you sounding like a bumblebee. The bumblebee will sound like you notice that there are vibrations in the vocal cords as you do that, like something like this. Do you understand? You can't compare it to when you're clearing your. If you're clearing your throat, it's like you're slapping the vocal cords against each other, and when you keep slapping them and you keep clearing the throat like that, you'll be causing wear and tear. That is why sometimes when you clear the throat to a point, you start feeling pain here, like there's an injury there. So if you want to, the main essence of clearing the throat becomes felt, because when you now start to sing and you want to achieve a high note, that is because most of the time when we have issues with our vocal cords, our throat, is when we're trying to hit a very low note or we're trying to hit a very high note. So to prevent that, the main essence, like I was saying, the main essence of clearing your throat becomes felt, because by the time you want to do that thing, you start feeling pain here. You can't finish up with it. So the best thing to do is keep your vocal cords in the perfect condition. Is either you follow the water way, the warm water way, or you do the bumblebee way. You understand? And try to avoid using antibiotics. This one is very, very important. Try to avoid using antibiotics if you have such long run of ministrations of gigs ahead of you. What antibiotics does is it will dry up your throat. I can testify very, very well that if you have people who use antibiotics very, very well, let's say for infections or for something like that, or let's say you have sickness and they tell you go on antibiotics, if you use it to a point, you at some point you start feeling your throat getting dry, and you don't want your throat to get dry. So don't use antibiotics to make your throat dry. And no matter how much water you take at that point in time, let's say you have a ministration or a gig in the next 5 minutes, it still won't suffice for what you're supposed to do. And if these vocal cords are not lubricated enough, if you try to sing to a point, you start having pain here. At some point, you start feeling your throat getting dry. And you don't want your throat to get dry if you are a musician. Try browse on fruits that could keep you off infections or keep you healthy during that time. You understand? Or you use probiotics instead. So far, I've mentioned that you should avoid taking milk or dairy products. I've also mentioned that you should get enough rest. Get enough rest. It is very, very important. All the things I've mentioned earlier can still not be the fact that you need to get enough rest. Even if it's just for 4 hours, even if it's just for 5 hours, even if it's just for 6 hours. For your body to recuperate. Do you understand? These vocal cords, like I said, are very, very delicate. So you have to treat them accordingly. The next thing I said was using the warm water therapy to gargle. Aside that, you can also use warm water, ginger tea, and natural honey. You could just have a jar or something where you pour it in. Maybe like you have a few hours to the show or something. Take it just to warm your voice, like just to prepare your vocal cords, lubricate them, clear the junk. That's the main essence of keeping your voice in shape. What happens most of the time when you keep singing without repairing, it's just like you keep using a tool without servicing it or without repairing it. It gets to a point all these dirt and particles get on that surface and it affects, it causes rust. Do you understand? And you don't want your voice to have that kind of issue if you are an artist, if you're a musician, if you're a singer, whatever category, as long as you use your voice to do something musical. All right, so that is all for now. Try to go back and rewind if you have to rewind. Check all the things I've said. In my next class, I'll continue on things that you can do to improve your voice, even if you've used the voice well or not. Subscribe to my channel, like, and comment. Thank you very much. Peace.